Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to 2 Minutes to Think. Hello everyone. Welcome to 2 Minutes to Think. My name is Jasmine. Finally, I've got a decent haircut done. Today, we are going to discuss about a very interesting subject. Let me give a short introduction for that subject. Have you ever wondered why you have to pay so much for a particular product? May it be a pack of biscuits, or it could be a chocolate, or sometimes even your mobile phone, or it could also be any kind of fast moving consumer goods, which are like snacks, soft drinks, household products, and a lot more. As a common person, I get this question quite often. Why are we paying so much for a particular product? There are two reasons how the product's pricing is decided. One, of course, you would have known about supply and demand concept. If you're not aware of this concept, you can definitely watch my previous video where I have spoken about the supply and demand concept and how it's impacting the pricing of a product. And I shall leave the link in the description below. Do not miss to watch it. The second factor depends on the taxes levied on that particular product. But definitely we shall talk about taxes in a separate video altogether. So if you also have been wondering about the same concept, that is why the product's pricing is so much, then today's video has got the answer for you. So do not miss to watch till the end of this video. Yes, today we are going to talk about the fuel price in India and how it's affecting the product's pricing. We are going to discuss about 5 important header points. The first header point would be the origin of petrol. The second one would be the authorities or the countries or the organizations who control and regulate this pricing of the petrol. Third point, we shall discuss about how India trades and processes this petrol and distributes to different states. And fourth point would be why there is a continuous petrol price hike. And finally, we shall also understand the future of petrol or fuel pricing. So without any further delay, let's start the video. First of all, let's understand the origin of petrol. Petrol is extracted from a liquid called crude oil. Where do we get this crude oil from? We have to travel almost millions of years ago to understand the story. 300 or 400 millions of years ago, living organisms like algae, zooplanktons and animals and so many other living organisms which were in the marine environment died and their remains got settled down. So these dead bodies' remains got deposited deeper and deeper down under the ocean and several other places in different parts of the world. These dead bodies got buried more and more deeper during the years, and finally, due to enormous amount of heat and pressure, these remains started turning into natural gas and fuel. So only very few countries have this element called crude oil by nature. So we cannot blame anyone for that. So other countries also have to be dependent on these countries. One such country is India. So these days we use big oil refining machine and we rig or drill down to the deepest part of the earth where this crude oil deposit is found, and from there we are extracting the crude oil. Now let's understand the second header point. Most commonly we can find these crude oil naturally in most of the United Arab Emirates countries as well as in USA, China, Russia and these countries as well. Since they have the source with them, they have all the control for the petrol pricing as well. They regulate the petrol pricing. They have formed two big organizations like OPEC and OPEC Plus. We need not get into the detail of it, but yes, let's understand there are two big organizations. In one committee, there are few countries who are the members of this committee called OPEC. And there are few more countries who are members of this OPEC Plus committee. These countries decide the crude oil price in terms of dollars per barrel. One interesting fact which you should know is today's oil price per barrel as of now when I'm making this video is $74, which is approximately 5,446 rupees. Let's assume 5,500 rupees. But the interesting fact is during Corona time, which was on April 2020, can you guess how much could have been the crude oil per barrel pricing? It was just $19.90, which was just 1,500 rupees approximately. Now let's understand the third header topic, which is how India trades and processes petrol and distributes to other states. This is one of the most important concepts which we need to understand. India is highly dependent on petrol and other forms of fuel because we have a major population and most of them are having two-wheelers, four-wheelers or some form of locomotives which definitely need fuel to operate. So India is having 82.2% dependency on other countries for crude oil. Naturally, we don't have much resources for this crude oil element. Studies say that we have natural sources, but we have not yet explored it. Still, that is not a proved statement, so let's not get into that because it is a debatable topic till date. So let's go with the facts. India imports the crude oil in barrels. We have a lot of oil refining stations in India in different states. Most of them are private organizations, few are also government organizations. For example, ONGC, Bharat Petroleum and a lot of other oil refining stations. So this is the complete concept from how the petrol is extracted from crude oil and those countries who are controlling and regulating the prices, and finally how India is buying from these countries and distributing it to other states. Let's understand the fourth point, which is also one of the most important point, which is why there is a continuous petrol price hike. This is most interesting and most curious topic as well. So watch it carefully. Before we understand about this topic, let's see an interesting fact. Okay, I have pulled out a few data from the internet. Let's take a look at how much is the petrol pricing in other countries right now. I'll just refer to that data right now. Okay, so in Venezuela, it is 1 rupee 40 paise, Indian rupee. Interesting, isn't it? Well, of course you can tell Venezuela is a country where naturally they have this crude oil element. So they are extracting and they have more supply. So of course their pricing can be less. Agreed with that point. Let's see a few more countries. The second one is Israel, 143 rupees. They are more higher than us. Next is China, 85. Australia, 77. Iraq, Qatar, 38 rupees. And finally there is Hong Kong, which is the highest, which is 185 rupees at the time when I'm shooting this video. Why there is so much of difference in the petrol pricing? In different countries there are different pricing. However, these oil corporations, which are OPEC and OPEC plus, they have a standard pricing which they maintain. Per barrel, this is the cost. It is the same cost worldwide. Wherever they sell, they are selling it for the same cost, which is calculated in terms of dollar. But then why is there so much of disparity in different countries? Of course, they have their own supply demand concept as well as the taxes also play an important role. Now coming to India, today's current pricing in Bangalore, when I'm shooting this video, per liter petrol costs 104 rupees. Well, I'm not sure. When this video is getting released, it can be 105 rupees as well. Do not think that it will take so much of time for me to release this video. The petrol prices may increase so fast. So coming to the concept, before Corona, we all know that petrol price was ranging somewhere around 70 rupees approximately, isn't it? So normally all the automobiles were operating across the country. People were moving around here and there. There was a demand for petrol. But after Corona, almost the movement of vehicles has stopped. Not just in India, almost across the globe it stopped. These countries or these committees have to reduce the petrol pricing. Well, they did that. The petrol price got declined so badly that it reached $19 per barrel, which is just 1,500 rupees per barrel. Of course, they had a lot of petrol in stock with them, which they have already produced. They were calling a lot of countries forward to come and buy it in a much cheaper price. But most of the countries denied because even automobiles are not operating in their countries. And secondly, they were unaware how long the lockdown is going to be implemented. So most of the countries did not come forward. However, there were few countries who came forward and they negotiated so badly and purchased this oil for dead price. Media sources in India says even India has purchased enormous amount of oil from different countries during this part of COVID lockdown, and they retained this oil in the oil refinery stations. You might have a question now. The demand for the petrol has slashed suddenly. The prices came down for this crude oil. But why still petrol prices did not decrease in India? You might have this question. The answer is very simple. India still maintained the same pricing, approximately 70 rupees, stating that we have a major need of money during this Corona time because we have to build a lot of infrastructure, we have to supply medicine, vaccination, a lot of medical expenses are also there. So we would definitely need a lot of funds. So India did not reduce the price. Instead of that, they maintained the same pricing in terms of taxes. They said there are a lot of other cess charges which will be levied on petrol pricing, and they maintain the same charge. Interesting fact here is, guys, you all would have heard about GST, right? Which is 18% levied on almost all the products and services. However, there are two major components in which in India GST is not applicable. One is petrol and the second one is liquor. Because if they apply GST on these two components, their prices will slash down drastically. So India does not want to implement GST in these two components so that they are able to get a huge profit out of this. How much profit does Indian government make? Through taxes in petrol. Let me give you an example. The current price of petrol in Bangalore is 104 rupees. Do you know that 58% of this amount goes to the Indian government in form of taxes? Well, 58, that is close to 60%. That means the 100 rupees which you pay, 40 rupees is the value for the petrol and 60 rupees goes to the government in terms of taxes. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Now, the current scenario is, after lockdown, again the automobiles have started operating in most of the countries normally. Of course, there is a huge demand for oil. Now again these two committee, OPEC and OPEC Plus, decided to increase the pricing. India has still not yet decreased the pricing. When the barrel cost is increasing by $1, then India is also increasing the petrol price accordingly. Now that's the reason why it's increasing so faster. So a lot of media ask this question, why are you not decreasing it right now? Because you have maintained the same cost during Corona time by managing it with the taxes. Whereas the government in the other side says, we have a major need of money during this Corona time. We will take your money in terms of taxes. That's the only option we have got. So with that, we have come to the final segment of this video. How the future will look like. We need to understand a fact. Most of the studies say that crude oil will get exhausted in the next 5 to 10 years. So these countries and these organizations like OPEC and OPEC Plus and countries like USA, Russia, China, who have this element crude oil majorly, they have decided to make the maximum profit during this phase of 5 to 10 years itself. The other side of the story is they are discovering a lot of alternatives for petrol, like different chemical substances or different energy sources, etc. For example, electrical vehicles. So this is the expected future. At the start of the video, I gave you a scenario that have you ever wondered why the product's prices are so high? Now, let me give you clarity on this. How this petrol or diesel price hike could be related to the product's pricing. Well, let's understand this in a simple way. Almost everything whatever you consume in your day-to-day life is not supplied right beside our doorstep, right? It comes from a faraway place. Maybe the onions what you're using for cooking is coming from Pakistan. The beauty products what you're using is coming from some other country. The snacks what you have is coming from different states. The toys which you use to play is coming from different cities. All these products are being imported from different places to your place. Of course, the transportational cost would be there, which again is dependent on the petrol and diesel charges. It is not going to be paid by the manufacturer or the distributor. It will be paid by the customer like you and me. This entire process is called as supply chain management, which we shall discuss in another video totally. It's a huge subject altogether. So if you're ever wondering why am I supposed to pay this much money for this product, the major contribution for that pricing is because of fuel cost, that is petrol or diesel. Concluding this video, I would like to ask you a question. I have put these two scenarios in front of you. In India, people are blaming the government, saying that why don't you reduce the price? Why have you increased the taxes so much? Whereas the government in the other side says, of course there is a lot of funds required right now during this COVID scenario. We will take your money in terms of taxes. That's the only option we have got. Let me know your opinion and views. What do you think? Do you think what the people are claiming is right? Or do you think, yes, the government need a lot of money during this time? So of course the petrol price increase is valid. What do you think? Do let me know your views in the comment section down below. In this video, I believe that you would have all got a complete understanding of why the petrol price is so high. Do share this video with a lot of people. Most of them would not be understanding this concept of petrol price and how it's impacting their day-to-day life. They would not be aware of these concepts. So please do share this video with a lot of people. Thereby you can create awareness amongst people. So that's 2 minutes to think. And also do let me know if you're interested in these kind of topics which are related to social issues and current trends. Definitely I shall keep posting more of such videos for you guys. So see you all in the next video with yet another interesting topic, guys. Until then, take care. Cheers. Love you all. Bye-bye.